Welcome to a new video which is about solving limit questions in piecewise functions. I will show you a general strategy to solve such questions besides solving instructive and remarkable questions. If this is your first time here and if you want to support this channel, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell to turn on the notifications to be aware of the upcoming videos. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. In this video I will show you how to solve piecewise functions, and we have a strategy for that, and it says if the number that the limit is found is a critical point, in other words, if this limit, for example, we have here 4, right? So if 4 is a critical point, these are the critical points, by the way, the boundary points, as it says in the explanation. It is a boundary of the function, so these numbers are the boundaries of the function. And then left limit and the right limit is investigated. Otherwise, there's no need to look at right limit or left limit, and we just evaluate the limits within the corresponding range. We have a piecewise function f of x, and we have boundaries, as you can see here, and when x is greater than 2, then this is the function that we're gonna apply. When x is equal to 2, then the function is equal to 5. When x is less than 2, and this is the function that we're gonna apply. So if you look at a here, it says when x goes to 4, what is f of x? Okay, a fits here, right? Because 4 fits here, okay, in this interval, because 4 is greater than 2, so I'm going to just put here 4 instead of x, and I will evaluate the function. So it's going to be 2 times 4 minus 1, guys. And 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1, which is 7. So as you can see, I don't have to look at the left limit or the right limit, because 4 is not a boundary here in this case. And let's take a look at b also. When x goes to -1 from the right side, okay, that is important, from the right side. And as you can see, this -1 fits here, and I don't have to look at the left side or right side, because in both cases this is the interval that I'll look, and this is the function that I'm going to apply. So I will just put -1 instead of x here, and once I do it, I'm going to have -1 square, and it's going to be -1. -1 square is +1, but because there is a negative in front of it, so the result is -1. That means limit when x goes to -1 from the right, it doesn't matter actually if it would be from the left side, still we would get the same answer. The limit of f of x is -1. So, but if you look at c, it says when x goes to 2, what is the limit of f of x? As you can see, I have to look at both, because 2 is a boundary. Okay, I have to look at both the left limit and the right limit. Just let me write it here. Limit when x goes to 2 from the left, f of x is equal to, guys, from the left means just think a number which is a little smaller than 2, like 1.99. And because that 1.99 is within this interval, okay, so I'm going to apply -x squared. So it's going to be -2 squared, which is -4, guys. So the left limit is -4, and let's take a look at the right limit here also. Limit when x goes to 2 from the right side, f of x is equal to, guys, 2 from the right side means just think x as, let's say, 2.01. So because that 2.01 is within this interval, okay, within this range, so 2.01 is greater than 2. So this is the function, that the first function I will apply. In this case, I'm going to have 2 times 2 minus 1, 4 minus 1, which is 3. So what I see here, the left limit is -4, okay. The right limit is +3, because left limit is not equal to the right limit. That means there is no limit in this case. So in C, there is no limit, guys. We can write it like that. And let's take a look at the next question. In this question, we have 3 functions. When x is less than -1, when x is between -1 and 3, and when x is greater than 3. And if we look at A, it says when x goes to -1, what is the limit of f of x? Firstly, we have to look at, as you can see, -1 is here, and we have -1 also here. So I have to look at both cases, from the left side and from the right side. Just let me write it here. In A, limit when x goes to -1 from the left, f of x is equal to, guys, from the left means when x is a little bit less than -1. So I'm going to apply the first function in this case. Then it's going to be -1 square minus 3 times -1 minus 4, guys. And that is going to be 1 negative is going to be positive. So it's going to be positive 3 minus 4, and that is 0, guys. So the left limit is 0. Let's take a look at the right limit as well. Limit f of x when x goes to -1 from the right. In this case, I'm going to apply the second function. So just put -1 instead of x, and once you do it, we're going to have 2 times -1 is -2 minus 1 divided by -1 plus 2, guys. And that is -3 divided by 1, which is -3. Because right limit, which I found as -3, is not equal to the left limit, which I just found as 0. So in this case, there is no limit because those limits are not equal to each other. So there is no limit, guys. And I'll continue B here. When x goes to 3. So again, as you can see, 3 is a boundary. Okay, again, I'm going to look at left limit and the right limit. So limit of f of x when x goes to 3 from the right, that is equal to, guys, this is the function that I'm going to apply, 3 minus 2, I'm sorry, which is 1, guys. So in this case, the right limit is 1. Let's take a look at the left limit as well. When x goes to 3 from the left, f of x is equal to. In this case, the middle function is the function that I'm going to apply also. It's going to be 2 times 3 minus 1 divided by 3 plus 2, guys. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. So it's going to be 5 divided by 5, which is 1, guys. And as you can see, left limit is equal to the right limit. That means the limit exists at this point, and that is 1, guys. I just put here 1. And let's take a look at C as well. When x goes to 4, 4 is not a boundary. So that means I'm going to just evaluate the function at the point x is equal to 4. So I'll just directly write it, 4 minus 2, and this is 2, guys. So in C, the answer is 2 in this case. And let's take a look at the next question. Okay, guys, this is our last question in this video. This type of questions are a little bit challenging compared to the ones that I solved previously. F is a function from real numbers to the real numbers, and it is defined like this. And we have a boundary, and the boundary is 4. When x is greater than or equal to 4, then this is the function that we are applying, x minus a. And when x is less than 4, this is the function that we're going to apply. If limit of f of x when x goes to 4 exists, that means, guys, left limit is equal to the right limit. Okay, just let me write it here. Limit of f of x when x goes to 4 from the right side, it has to be equal to limit of f of x when x goes to 4 from the left side. Why? Because 4 is a boundary here. Okay, that's why I have to make sure that the left limit has to be equal to the right limit. And so I'm going to just put 4 instead of x. And once you do it, let's see what's going to happen. First, let's take a look at the limit when x goes to 4 from the right side. That means when x is a little bit greater than 4, like 4.01, so that is the function that I'm going to apply in this case. So the left side becomes, I'm going to put 4 instead of x, and it's going to be 4 minus a, guys. And that is equal to, when x goes to 4 from the left side, and the second function is the function that I'm going to evaluate. So if I put 4 instead of x in this function also, then I'm going to have 3a minus 4, guys. And in this case, the limits have to be equal to each other. Why? Because if the limit exists, and this is the case that has to be satisfied, so I need to find out what is a in this case. And if you send this negative a to the right and this negative 4 to the left, then we're going to have 4 here, it was negative 4, and now it's going to be positive 4. And that is equal to, guys, on the right there are 3a, and if you send negative a from left to the right, it's going to be positive a. By the way, for the people who are not familiar with what I did here, I recommend those to take a look at one of my previous videos about shortcuts in calculations. Anyway, so if you add 4 by 4, the left side is 8 and the right side is 4a. Just leave a alone, how we divide both sides by 4, which is the number that is in front of a. And once you do it, we're going to have a as 2, guys. So if a is 2, and then at the point 4, the limit of f of x exists. So this is basically the strategy that you can apply in piecewise functions to find the limit. If you have any question, you can just put them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the upcoming videos.